Alright, looking for info about the monthly PlayStation Plus games, upcoming demos, what's the deal with Wukong versus Microsoft, Sony reviving dormant IPs, or the latest news on the Switch 2? If so, we got you covered. Hello and welcome to Game Conclave. This is your resident blabbermouth, VBerg. And tonight we've got your weekly Sunday night gaming news roundup. Alright, so first up in the news show we have Sony has announced the PlayStation Plus games lineup for January of 2025. First up is on the PS4, we've got Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, which is a fairly bare-bones remaster of the 2010 original Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. But that was already a great game, so it didn't really need a lot of love. And the remaster came back out in 2020. Sometimes I think we get carried away with these remasters. Looking at you, Naughty Dog. But this one I'll be checking out through the PlayStation Plus. It might finally pull me off Need for Speed Heat, which I frequently screw around and fiddling with vehicles and trying to pretend I'm as cool as Takumi Fujiwara. And then on the PS4 and PS5, we have the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition, which is an expanded version of the original Stanley Parable from 2013, which is a great adventure game filled with meta commentary about games, game developers, gamers, and the expectations those various groups have. And it's freaking hilarious. It's just something you have to experience for yourself, so be sure to check that out. And then last for the PS5, we have Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And I know some of you are probably thinking right now, yeah, but why? This game obviously came out with some really big expectations last year. It had the pedigree of Rocksteady developing it, who worked on all the Arkham games. And I'm really not sure what all went wrong with the game's development cycle. It has its defenders, but obviously Warner Brothers themselves were not very happy with the state of the game, as they've already announced they will be canning the live service elements. And instead, we'll be pushing out an offline version. So at the very least, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you have a free game coming. It might be one of those things where, I don't know, maybe the marketing was all wrong. I don't know. A lot of people really complained about the story, the egregious monetization elements, which will presumably be gone in the offline version. And before the offline version comes and the servers go down, we will be getting included Deathstroke as a playable character, which that's pretty cool. Slade is awesome. Eternal Strands has confirmed it will be getting a demo on PC. I know I will be checking this one out. I encourage you to go check this out as well. This one's coming from Yellow Brick Games, and it's officially launching, I think, on January 28th, later in the month. The demo should be hitting Steam around the 21st. And this is from a studio formed by Mike Laidlaw, who previously worked on games like Dragon Age Origins and Jade Empire, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, some of the Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. So there's definitely some pedigree behind this studio, and it looks like it's going to be a really cool physics-based action RPG. So I'm personally really excited about that. And in other news, we've got the Black Myth Wukong developers blaming the Xbox Series S's lower memory capacity and Microsoft's parity clause as the reason why Black Myth Wukong has still not made it to the Xbox platform. The Xbox head Phil Spencer, though, has countered that Microsoft doesn't comment on deals made by other publishers and developers, indicating that there is another reason. And that has to do with why the game's not on the console. So I don't really know what's going on here. Larry and the developers of Baldur's Gate 3 had mentioned at one point they had issues getting Baldur's Gate 3 running on the Series S and asked for the parity clause to be waived, and ultimately that ended up happening for them. And I've seen comments from people at Remedy who said that it was a challenge getting Alan Wake 2 running on the Series S. So we do know that developers have found this memory issue to be a problem. We also don't know whether or not there was some sort of deal with Sony and Game Science, and I'm not really entirely sure who to believe here. I'm not even sure if there is a correct answer. They're both just kind of pointing the fingers at each other as to why the game's not on Xbox, and meanwhile I'm sure Xbox fans are just sitting here wondering when they get their chance to play as the monkey. NetEase has confirmed that the Fantastic Four will be hitting Marvel Rivals, and I gotta say I'm pretty excited about that. I've been playing a little bit of Marvel Rivals on occasion. I've been maining Captain America, and I'm certainly not going to turn up the chance to play as Johnny, Sue Storm, Reed Richards, and Ben Grimm. I gotta say, too, though, I noticed that the face and the art looks a little bit more like John Krasinski than Pedro Pascal, who was cast for the upcoming depiction of Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie. And maybe it's not just me who's not really feeling Pedro. as Reed. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, we're going to finally have the opportunity to play as the all of the Fantastic Four in a non-mobile game, which I don't think has happened since Marvel Avengers Ultimate Alliance 2 back in 2009. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So this one always feels really silly to talk about, but we've had yet again rumors of Half-Life 3 supposedly coming out. I mean, we're going on like over 20 years now since 2 came out, and there just really hasn't been anything from Valve on this front. It seems like Steam pretty much takes up all their time. You know, in addition to the Portals, I know we had Half-Life Alyx not too long ago. I personally haven't had a chance to play that yet. I've heard really good things though, but I haven't given it a done. Anyway, Half-Life 3 supposedly people are claiming is going through some sort of internal testing. That could be a load of hogwash, of course. But interestingly, Mike Shapiro, who was the G-Man in Half-Life, has made a very cryptic and strange tweet filled with a weird video. And he used the hashtags Valve, hashtag Half-Life, hashtag G-Man, and hashtag 2025. So, yeah, this one's weirder than the usual rumors that are churned out about Half-Life 3. I'm a huge Half-Life fan, and I think, like a lot of others, I don't really want to get my hopes up too much, but I feel obligated to let people know that maybe something's coming. I hope so, so just keep your fingers crossed. And we're going to include that video for you before we get to the next segment, just so you can see the weirdness yourself.
Another year already. Good to see and hear from so many of you. May the next quarter century deliver as many unexpected surprises as did the millenniums first. And again, time is fluid, like music. See you in the new year.
Gaming news analysts are now predicting that GTA 6 will rake in $3 billion in its launch year alone. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, is this even news? It's Grand Theft Auto. It's going to sell like hotcakes. You know, depending on what kind of time frame it comes out in the year, it's easily going to sell what 35 million first year alone, and it's going to have legs, really long legs. It's Grand Theft Auto. It's just going to keep generating tons of money for Rockstar. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see these really big financial estimates we're seeing from analysts, because it's Grand Theft Auto. They already make copious sums of cash on a daily basis. It just prints money. Microsoft has stated that they may bring all their big games to other platforms. What does that look like? What does Microsoft constitute as one of their big games? We could probably assume that means Halo, Gears of War games are theoretically going to be hitting other platforms, maybe Fable. I feel like, though, they've made it pretty clear and that they don't have a lot of interest in making Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and some of those other big games in their bullpen exclusives from their rhetoric, which I think is personally kind of weird. I'm not really sure what their game plan is. I feel like if you took Fallout, the Elder Scrolls, Fable, Minecraft, and made all those platform exclusive to your console, and Call of Duty, I forgot I got Call of Duty. I mean, they have so much stuff they own now, but yeah, like if you took all those games and just made them exclusives, it feels like you'd just stomp some of your opponents in the ground. But hey, they have their plan. I'm just a dumb guy with a microphone. So anyway, I personally wouldn't mind seeing some of their more obscure titles like Lost Odyssey and Jade Empire, which I am endlessly singing the praises of. A long forgotten hidden gem from BioWare, which has been exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem on consoles. It is also on Steam, by the way, just a little plug for Jade Empire. But yeah, so those games, I'd love to see games like that just kind of get a second chance at life. And I know Microsoft just has a slew of IPs they're sitting on, so we'll see what that means and what actually ends up coming to fruition. Speaking of sitting on IPs, PlayStation boss Herman Hulst has stated that Sony is looking to revive some of their classic franchises. What franchises those are or aren't, I don't know. Does that mean the Ratchet & Clank fans, Jak and Daxter fans, Infamous fans, Twisted Metal fans, Wild Arms fans, Arc the Lad fans, Siren fans? Does that mean some of those long-abandoned fan bases of Sony exclusives can finally start having hope again? I guess we'll find out. There's a lot of stuff in their catalog that they just seem to forget about, like Gravity Rush. I'm not really sure what they plan to do with some of those titles and if they ever plan to revive them. I know that as a longtime PlayStation owner, I have been playing on Sony platforms for going on 30 years now. I'd really like to see some of those old franchises be given a chance at life again. Maybe less remasters of titles that are like 4 or 5 years old. Naughty Dog. And more on creating new fan bases or sending a lifeline to some of those fan bases hanging on for dear life. So tell me what dormant Sony IPs would you like to see make a comeback down in the comments. Alright, and then our final news story of the week. We have a new Nintendo AI patent, which suggests that Nintendo will be using AI upscaling like NVIDIA's DLSS technology. So in addition to this backwards compatibility with Switch 1 titles, the rumor mill is, of course, that the Switch will cost in the ballpark of about $400 and will theoretically launch later this year. It will supposedly, like the Switch, be a hybrid handheld console with the power in the range of a PS4, which some people online are acting like is a bad thing, and I don't know why. The PS4 has some damn good games, and we're most likely going to see some kind of official announcement, though, from Nintendo near the end of March is what everyone keeps saying. So tell me, are you getting pumped for the Switch 2? Are you planning to be a day one adopter? If so, let us know. We're going to be grabbing the one day one as well. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. You do not want to miss any of our daily content. We cover weekly game launches, news, and provide lists of great games for you to discover. So from all of us here at Game Conclave, thanks for watching.